What other directories should you be listed in? I think there are several categories of directories to consider, at least one of which you should definitely get listed in, while the other two perhaps not.
You should definitely be looking for specialty directories to list in, directories that are directly related to your particular business. Or, if yours is a local business, a business serving a particular city or region, you should be looking for regional directories, although that's a subject I'm going to leave for the section on local search listings. Then there are the large, respectable general directories. You may want a listing in some of these, though as there's often a price to be paid, you may not. Finally, there are the many thousands of garbage directories, which are probably not worth your time. Let's look at these one by one. In an earlier lesson, I showed you a rabbit breeders directory. If you're a rabbit breeder, then you definitely want to be in this directory. Links from specialty directories like this can be very valuable. They can bring visitors directly from the directory itself, and they can help your SEO efforts. How do you find these? Simply search a major search engine for your business type, along with the keywords directory, list, and listing. You may be surprised at how many possible places to get listed you find. Some of these may be simple lists rather than formal directories, perhaps maintained on hobbyists' blogs. That's fine. Everything helps. When you find an appropriate directory, look for some way to add your site. You may find a button or link, or may need to email the owner, in particular in the case of a simple list in a blog. You might need to search the page for the word add or submit, and you'll often find the links in the header or the footer. Or perhaps you can find a Contact Us link. In some cases, you'll only be able to get a listing if you pay. That's an issue I'll address in the following lesson. Next, the reputable general directories. There are a few of these, though not as many as there used to be. We've already seen dmoz.org in an earlier lesson, but there are others, such as bestoftheweb.org and joant.com. You can actually find lists of search directories, but many of these lists are old, and many of the directories are now out of business. Is it worth getting into these directories? If you can get a free listing, I'd say yes. If you have to pay, well, maybe, but see the next lesson. Some of these directories are indexed by Google. Joant currently has only 20,000 odd pages indexed by Google, and Best of the Web has around 300,000, with much lower numbers indexed by Bing.
I would put these kind of directories at the bottom of my to-do list. You aren't likely to get much traffic from the search directories themselves, and there's a good chance the listing pages won't be found in the major search engines. So perhaps it's something you do later if you still need more links to push your site up in the results.
Finally, the garbage directories. There are thousands of small, little-known directories, and you can find services that will submit your site to them very cheaply, a few cents per directory. I've used these services in years past and found that only a portion of the submissions actually end up as listings. Submit to 1,000 directories and perhaps you'll end up with 200 or 300 links to your site. Still, if you can submit to 2,000 directories for a couple of $100 and end up with 200 or 300 links, that sounds pretty good.
However, these days, this kind of garbage directory link has very little value, if any at all. The search engine designers aren't dumb. They know these directories have no value, that nobody really uses them, and so the search engines have greatly devalued these links and even dropped the directories from their indexes. So today, I wouldn't bother with this strategy.